Hey guys, this is Artino. And I'm just basically this is just a screencast of what we've done this week so far. This will be my weekly summary. And as you see, I'm gonna start here where we have the poster boards and stuff. This is what we did on Monday. We presented our poster boards for our group one projects, and I think everybody's gonna amp up their poster boards because not everybody had such an awesome poster board. So, and like people had different sizes and stuff. So basically, you see, I have here just this is one of the boards that was presented on Monday. Um, and see, it's not a whole lot going on. It's just some basic little general facts about what they did. What their process was, the materials they used. You see right here. I don't know if you can read it, but this says materials, and this is their conclusion, what they concluded from their project. So there's that, and they've got I've also got a video of them presenting. So here's this.
A place we can just sit on top. We can really use anything. As for the magnet, we use a neodymium magnet, and the specs are 2 inches the outside diameter and 1 inch the inside diameter with a thickness of 0.4.
And really, you could do this with just about any magnet. It's just you'll have to find the right one.
Yeah, just really think the only changes is the height in which you can use it.
So that was just a quick video of them presenting, and here's John and Jose getting some feedback from David here, who was really letting loose on the groups low key, But then again, that's just David anyway. And I know you're watching this, David. Don't take it personal, man. So, here's another board. This is the board where they were doing the speech control Game Boy. They have one of the cooler boards, I thought. But yeah, and the Game Boy worked too. Hold on, let me see if I can find the video for you guys, because I recorded them using it and stuff. Let me see. Oh, this is their group with the Tesla coil with the music and stuff. Let's see. Let me try and find it. Oh, here's the video. Here's the video of them using their speech controlled Game Boy. Let's see if I can fast forward.
Thunderbolt. So, do you have to, know the moves of all the Pokemon, too? So that they do it?
No, because it's just you move the cursor to whatever you're doing, and then just say
okay, I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. Get all hella intense with it.
That'd be legit.
Oh, here you go. He's about to talk to it right now.
Just kidding. 1 second.
Can I just play Pokemon?
Which version?
Oh crap! Yeah.
It's either
No, open up. I said the wrong thing. Open up our file. No, something like that. Open up our Arduino file. We need to send it. The wrong thing.
Let's see. I know
crap, yeah.
he told it to start, and it turned on.
Squirt gun! Squirt gun!
Imagine being you get a star name to
Oh look, there he is.
That'd be legit.
Just kidding.
1 second.
Can I just play Pokemon?
Which version?
Oh crap! Yeah.
It's either
No, open up.
Yeah, see, he talked to it and made it turn on.
No,
See.
something like that.
So yeah, so that's theirs. Don't want to spend too much time looking at that, but there's just an extra picture. So another thing that we kind of went through this week was some Arduino stuff. Sorry, that's Calc 2. And here's a video of David telling us to get on Arduino.
Arduinos, even though we're one shy, so there's 11 of them there, and we've got computers, so get yourself working on Arduino.
They essentially made their engine so that if it goes under the emission testing limits, under those conditions.
One thing I was really disappointed about in this video was David used his famous catchphrase, big teacher voice, right before I started recording. So I had to ask him to say it again. I don't think he did it. Oh, and this is some of the spiral electric field stuff that we worked on this week. This, I'm sure everybody will agree with me when I say this stuff was insane. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. So, there was that. Let's see. Also, what we worked on, we had our redo interviews this week as well. And some things that David talked to me about this week were the parallel and series connections. And one of the things that I kind of had an issue with was in the parallel connections, when you've got this little indicator bulb out here, one of the questions was if what will happen to this bulb right here if we were to add more bulbs to the parallel connection. And I said it would get dimmer and that the other bulbs would stay the same, but really the bulbs will stay the same, but as you can see here, the indicator bulb will get brighter. And I would sit and explain the entire thing, but I kind of don't feel like it. So there's that. But another question that I did get right was what'll happen to to all these bulbs if I remove one here. And I did say that when the bulbs are removed, just like it says here, when the bulbs are removed from the socket, the other bulbs in the parallel branches are going to remain the same. They're going to remain lit. They're not going to get dimmer. They're not going to get brighter. They're just going to remain the same. Just the indicator bulb will get dimmer. That's the only thing that'll change in this connection. The indicator bulb will dim just a little bit, because you're going to go because basically when you remove a bulb, say from here, you're going from 3 resistors to 2. And since it's a parallel connection, you're just going from here to here. If it were a series connection, you would see, as you see here, all the bulbs would go out. So, I did get that. This is just a little analogy about, thinking of connections as a tollway on a road. As you can see, this is a series tollway right here. And as you can see, all of the current or the cars just kind of move through the same pathway. So, something happens to one thing, it affects everything else coming behind it. As opposed to the parallel, something happens to, say, this toll right here or this connection right here, you still got these 2 over here. It does affect these 2 back here, but it doesn't necessarily stop them. It doesn't stop the flow. The flow just goes from going down here to all of it just goes through the sides right here. So that's one thing. Another thing we talked about was a combination circuit or series parallel circuit. And that kind of jacked me up just a little bit. One of the things that I kind of had a bit of a problem was calculating the power in the bulbs, And how power is P equals I squared times R. Well, I didn't, those are calculations that I forgot to do during the interview. So, this is stuff that I basically have been studying and going back over, during, over this past week. Let's see. Oh, the last thing, during my interview, we went over this stuff right here, the electric field stuff with the 2 spheres and the rod. And, see, sphere B is connected to the ground. One of the things that David asked was if these 2 spheres were touching and this positively charged rod was touching sphere A while B is connected to the ground, what would be the net charges on the 2 of them? And, we came to the conclusion that the net charges would be, let's see if I can remember, this would be, it would be basically, I think this one would be negative. This one would be positive. This one would be positive too. I think. I don't really remember. I'd sit here and try and work it out again, but I'm running out of time on my little clock here, guys. So, that's just one thing we talked about. And also we talked about if we were to move the rod away, and if we were to move the rod away, it would still be the same as if it were touching, because it did touch. If the rod had never touched, then then sphere A would be neutral. So yeah, sphere A would be positive. Sphere B would also be, it was either neutral or positive. But if the rod had never touched sphere A, then sphere A would just be neutral and B would be negative. So there's that. And I think that's about it. The last thing I was going to talk about was just the fact that me and my partner are starting our project. Already started our project 2. We're working on that as we speak, and as you can see, I've got the little instructable page pulled up here. This is what we're doing. Our little portable boombox from scratch. It's not going to look exactly like this because, we're going to do the best we can to get it to look like this, but we plan on having a pretty different paint job. So there's that. And these are just, the instructions. This is the list of tools and materials we're going to need. We've got plans and things like that, and we're, currently working on it right now. I've got a pretty good amount of the stuff. This is just some things I still have to order, like this little remote thing, this USB, SD, and P3. I still got to get the stereo panel mount, and these little these capacitors here as well. I have to get some capacitors for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So just some things that I learned during the spiral electric field stuff. Those were the main things that I just kind of got brought to my attention. Was during while we were doing those things, it never occurred to me to use triangles here. One of the things that really helped was on Friday when we were working on this, you draw a triangle from one ion to the next, and basically just count what's the number of squares in between that. That'll be your A, B, C, that'll be your D, and all those things, your R, your distance will be whatever, so that's one of the main things that I learned this week. And how I'm going to connect it is I'm going to study it very intensely. I'm really going to study that a lot more so that I just kind of have it in my brain. And because I know this isn't the last we're going to see of this stuff. So I've been working on getting that into my head, and also Arduino stuff. I learned a little more about coding this week or in the last 2 weeks actually, because David pointed out to us that when we were coding the Arduino things, we were just taking the code from the book and just putting it into the computer. We weren't really paying attention to what the code was. We were just copying it. So that's one thing that I was also keeping an eye on, trying to keep track of, and also trying to really study out so that I knew. It was kind of a blindsider to know that we were getting tested on that on Friday. That was crazy, especially because I walked in late. But yeah, guys, so this is my screencast. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in class on Monday. Later.